Arnab, 80% of youngsters in the age group of 18 to 23 don't have a college degree. Now you're talking about 20% of the population. It is 80% come up and say, we are 80% of youngsters, we don't have a college degree, we want to pass the UPSC exam, so just have a viva voce and call us and talk to us and we'll speak very well, we have comprehension, allow us to become IAS officers and don't do a written exam, what will you say? So these people are making the same absurd argument. If you are a first rank holder in MA in Canada, you have to go to UP, will you speak to them in Kannada? What language will you use? The whole of South India follows the 3-language formula. Now some states don't follow the 3-language formula, and if those people have to take 6 months or 3 months to learn basic English just to speak and to have some comprehension, they will easily pass the examination. Why are they making such a big fuss out of nothing? They are not putting enough efforts and they want to go against people who put in all kind of efforts. So I think it's a very ridiculous argument that's going on by a very small number of people. There are about 2 lakh people who take the UPSC examination. There are only some 1,500 people who are making this trouble, obviously the political reasons, and blowing it up just because it happens to be in Delhi. We don't have this problem in other parts of the country.
Yeah.
In no other part of the country do you see agitation like this. So this is being made into a big thing just to browbeat the rest of the country, and we don't want these people who can't even speak a little bit of English or have comprehension skills. This is an all India test, this is an all India, the top of the civil service examination. They should have minimum qualifications.
Absolutely the minimum qualification. I don't know what you're protesting about, Salman, after your 180-degree turn and you're being you're exposed by 5 questions on the news article.
And then you can give the just 2 short points.
Yeah, make one short point. Make one short point.
First of all, we're selecting administrators.
Arey Baba, why don't you understand? What are you doing? In 2011, you said we'll select administrators if we have English. Today you are saying we'll have administrators if we don't have English. Keep some consistency, bhai.
There is experience. Now we have experience behind us.
Now you are experienced because you lost the elections. You become experienced. Okay, what's it? Because
experience behind us. We must. One other thing. One is, please let us not make this about English versus every other language. We have to select the best civil servants available.
Sir, this is not about. Then give me one reason. No, you give me one reason. You give me one reason.
Yes.
You give me one reason why a lawyer should know English, why a manager should know English. Then remove English from law exams and management exams. No, remove it. Why? No, why do you want to be? Why do you want? No, once in using your own unforgivable, shallow, and rather questionable logic, I would like to ask you. Please tell me, why are you being such an elitist? Why does the IIM exam have to have English? No, why does the IIM? We want
because I will tell you.
Why does the IIM exam have to have English? Tell me.
When you are going to management, you have lots of different fields to choose from.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Why should a Hindi Bhashi not be allowed to enter an IIM?
Why don't you ask from the current government?
Hypocrisy to the extreme, I say.
Why they are dilly-dallying?
Students from IITs, IIMs and select some scientists if you want higher IIT.
Sir, everybody can't speak at the same time. I'll choose who responds. And we are now going to get that response from. The response is going to be from a viewer, and Mr. Bhattacharya is the first caller on the News Hour tonight. I'm getting so many calls. We are flooded with calls. Everyone's asking. Everyone's asking, where will you stop? Mr. Bhattacharya, good evening.
Yes, speaking from Calcutta. Thank you all for choosing the matter of debate.
Thank you.
My question is that if government yields to the demand of students, it will, I think, undoubtedly amount to their appeasement at the cost of capable governance for gaining parochial political mileage, keeping in view the impending assembly polls. Does the government want to do so?
No, Mr. Bhattacharya, you are spot on. But what the BJP representative Vani Tripathi Tripku has used, usually quite eloquent, not been able to explain is why the Modi government is considering giving in to student pressure by postponing examination. Why they haven't taken a position on this so far? They should say we are running a government. We don't intervene based on the basis of a whims of a bunch of students. I mean, it's terrible enough that you have to half the time indulge the VHP.
Strong government and decisive government.
The other half, if you are going to have to indulge the ABVP, it's going to be terrible. Who runs the country? The ABVP, the VHP, or the BJP? No, 1 second. Vani is
This is
responding.
not a question here at all. This is this is about the UPSC exam. Anna, please let me speak. I mean, for the first part of the debate, I spoke a little, then I've been just hearing, and you're saying that, I haven't spoken. First, let me come to what Mr. So said. He's admitted on your program that all these policy decisions have been taken, during the UPA regime. And today, because he is discussing comprehension on your program, it is sounding very interesting. For me, the problem is that if we were not addressing the grievances of the students, you would have been debating tonight that these children,
No, I'm sorry.
the youth of the country...
I'm sorry, I have never been on the side of politics. That's a Vani, wonderful try. Wonderful try. Vani, that's a wonderful try, Vani. Vani, it's a wonderful try. I nowadays find that whenever politicians have no answer, they try to blame the media for it.
After 3 years of this examination being there, we are debating it today. It's fantastic. But the thing is that don't at all think that the government don't preempt what the government is going to do.
We are going to take another caller. We are going to take another caller, and the next caller is from Dhanbad. Dhanbad, a UPSC aspirant, Vikas Singh, is calling from Dhanbad. Yes, go ahead, Vikas. Good evening.
Okay,
Mr. Chopra, I'll come to you after that.
Can you hear my voice?
I can hear you loud and clear, Vikas.
Okay, sir. I want to tell you that the candidates protesting against the government. Hello?
Yes, go ahead, Vikas. We can hear you.
Yes, sir. I cannot assure the legitimacy of the candidates, I think there's a political twist in the candidates, the political parties are giving out candidates to send to protest them against the government for the inclusion of English in UPSC.
Subhash, do you have any political party affiliation?
No, I'm here to fight for the root cause.
No, but that is all right. Do you have any, are you a member of any political party wing?
No, I don't belong to any of the group. I'm a genuine UPSC aspirant. I had given my 2013 attempt. I have scored 238, but I failed to clear prelims, and now again I am giving the attempt this time.
Okay.
But CSAT is completely discriminatory. I want to say this, and I want to clarify that it's not about only 1,500 people. The Mohandas Spices told just now that it's about only 1,500 people are protesting. It's not 1,500 people, sir. I want to clarify. It's most probably minimum 3 lakh students are affected by this. English. English is being forcefully imposed on us.
English is forced. Mohandas Pai, please respond. Mr. Gowda made your point. Mr. Pai should respond. Yeah, Mr. Pai.
If we go by your argument, then UPC should conduct examination.
How many people pass the preliminary test to come to the final test, Arnab? This is the final test. How many people have passed that? It's very easy to see.
Question paper in
and we don't have the test in Bangalore, we don't have it in Chennai, we don't have it in Hyderabad, we don't have it in Mumbai. We don't have it in Jaipur. Come on.
Sir, see, I am also from Bangalore. ನಾನು ಕನ್ನಡದವನೇ ಬಟ್ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೋರಾಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸರ್ ನೀವು ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಹೇಳಿ ನೀವು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಬಡ ಹುಡುಗರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿ ನೀವು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಕಂಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತಾ ಈ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ನ ನೀವು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೇ ಹೇಳಿ
80% ಜನರು ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಡಿಗ್ರಿನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಏನು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ನೀವು ಅವರು ಐಎಎಸ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್
ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೇಷನ್ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್
80% people who don't have a college degree
translation please
give them an opportunity.
Everybody is having a college degree. That's why we are fighting for these elite services. We know it is an elite service.
80% of people in
but now
80% of youngsters don't have a college degree, my friend.
Policy made by government.
Naveen Chopra also taking on the students here. Naveen Chopra is taking on the students. Subhash Gowda, Naveen Chopra, go ahead. No, Naveen Chopra on air, please.
Arnab, we are talking about people who are going to govern our country, and this is not just about the English language as far as their campaign is concerned. I will read to you from a press report which says, according to Hindi medium aspirants, the level of math and aptitude tests also is so high that they or humanities students can't answer them as well as a science background student. I mean, what are you trying to say?
CSAT is
Why the
against
aptitude test? Are
CSAT is anti-humanities background and it's for only technocrats and managerial students. Nigwekar committee, which was set up by government.
Know in detail about geography, social character and history of the country. I mean, what are you people talking about? You're talking about bringing down the standards of the people who are going to govern this country.
You are misinterpreting. You are being misled and you are misinterpreting my statement.
You know, I just want to ask two questions, gentlemen. I want to ask two questions because
please listen and
because
let the nation know the realities.
Mr. Gowda, can I say something? Mr. Gowda, I say something. Mr. Gowda, the politicians are being so nice to me on Newshour tonight because of my bad throat. You can also be a little nice to me, sir. So 1 minute, sir.
We never said we don't want to learn history, geography, polity, economy and general science. We are already for it.
No, that's not the issue.
Everybody, even Hindi medium, Kannada medium, Telugu medium, Tamil medium, Malayalam medium students, everybody is ready to read general
Mr. Gowda, can I say something?
Why you are forcefully
Mr. Gowda, can I say, Mr. Gowda, you are a very, Mr. Gowda, you are a very eloquent and forceful young man. But can I also say some things? Though I'm not as eloquent and forceful as you. My question is, sir, that how will a few extra days miraculously make people comprehend basic English language if they have not been able to do it so far? Question one. Question two. Question two. Question two. Given that the mains papers are in December 2014, which includes, by the way, it includes a 300-mark English paper.
Yeah.
How on earth, sir, I have also given competitive exams in my life. How on earth, sir, will you be prepared for a 300-mark English paper in December 2014? 1 second. Suppose you get through the prelims without giving the English 8 questions. How will you be prepared for a 300-mark English paper? 1 minute, sir. 1 minute, sir. How will you be prepared if you are not prepared to answer 8 questions? And I'll put those questions on air. I'll put those questions on air. I'll put those questions on air. I'll put
for steel plant, they have written as Loha Pauda in Hindi. How can you justify?
That is a different issue altogether.
Coming to the English paper in mains, coming to the English. Coming to the English paper in mains, what you said. English should never be made as a mandatory language. It should be given as an option.
I don't understand. Sir, I just must tell you one thing. I'm asking this question to everyone. Either we decide today that English should go out of the mains exam also. But if you have an English paper in the mains exam, with 300-mark paper, how will you be prepared if you can't answer 8 questions in a basic comprehension of English? I'll give you a basic example.
It's not about 8 questions,
in that passage which I'm showing on air, it is written, he slept under a haystack. And the question is, when the night fell, where did he slept? A, in the open field. B, in a farmer's cottage. C, in a farmer's cottage. D, under a tree. And B, under a pile of dry grass. Which means that... No, this is not a very complicated question.
It's not a who are studying in villages and some small towns.
No, sir, they are also learning English from class 5. What are you saying,
sir? No, sir, nobody is learning, sir.
People are learning English from class 5, and how will you answer the 300? How will you answer a 300-mark English paper if you can't take 3 questions? Now, this being much tired. And the question says, he soon fell asleep because he was exhausted is the right answer. Now, if people don't know that being exhausted means being tired, and if you are telling me that this is a kind of English which is so damn complicated that it discriminates against students of this country,
you are showing me the last part questions.
Sir, I am showing you, sir. These are the original papers, sir. These are the original UPSC papers I have with me.
Yeah, I know, sir. I had given this exam.
No, so what kind of complicated English is this? Just be practical.
See, the weightage.
Okay, Subramaniam is calling from Mr. Subramaniam is calling from Meghalaya. Mr. Subramaniam is calling from Meghalaya. He's an ex-serviceman. Mr. Subramaniam, good evening.
Sir, good evening.
Good evening. Thanks for calling. Yep.
Thank you for taking my question, sir.
Sir.
In fact, I have 3 questions, basically, 3 points, basically.
Yes, sir.
This is regarding, the people are saying, English is not mandatory for such a high-level exams like civil services. Even my question is, I am from South, I am from Kerala. And I appear for an LD clerk exams in which, 10 marks is compulsory in English. And that's for one thing. And the second thing is in UPSC, IAS don't need in English exams. That's ridiculous. And third thing, and whatever the agitation and whatever is happening, and it shouldn't be at the cost of the rest of the country. And that's it.
Mr. Subramaniam, and by the way, we are not censoring any of these calls. We're just taking calls. People are beginning to see through this whole thing. Mr. Alok, you understand? You are people like you. People like you.
Issues are being complicated.
Sir, can I say one thing? Sir, can I say something?
Getting a bit confused. There's a confusion.
No, there's no confusion. You are promoting parochialism in this country.
No, there is confusion.
Sir, you want to make this an issue of
Mr. Gowda
class
is not
divide.
against English. What he is against is the CSAT. You try and understand. He's not against English. What you have been speaking for.
He is against the English component of CSAT.
I am against the CSAT. I am against the CSAT.
No, he's against CSAT. I
am against the CSAT, the pattern.
Comprehensive Civil Services Aptitude Test.
I am against the CSAT.
Now, aptitude cannot be gauged only in English.
Okay,
it can be gauged in many other languages. That's what he's trying to say.
Watch it. Mr. Alok, listen to me. Mr. Alok, listen to me. Now, I can tell you this whole... No, watch it.
For that purpose, UPSC will have to set papers in so many languages.
Mr. Alok.
You think?
Yeah, it should be done. It should be done.
Gentlemen, don't have a private conversation.
He's not against English. He's not against the 300 marks which is being put up in the mains paper.
Yeah,
we are all through it. The UPSC has been taking English exams right from the beginning with 300 compulsory English.
Mr. Alok, 1 minute, please. Now, please stop. And I'm taking another person on the other side. I don't want to raise my voice, but the fact is this. You cannot take a 300 mark. You just cannot take a 300 mark English paper if you don't answer 8 basic questions in English in the preliminary examination, which proves that you politicians want to use this. You politicians want to use this. You want to mislead people.
They are politicians, but
and you want to.
Why are you reaffirming the same statement
Gowda.
you are making? It's not about
You mean to say that
it's about the entire paper.
can only be gauged in
CSAT
English?
is made.
Mr. Gowda, please 1 minute, please stop. I have given you enough time. Now you have to stop, please, Mr. Gowda.
Can only be
Thank you.
in English.
I'm going to now say who's going to speak next, and the next point of view is coming. Next point of view is coming from R.K. Mishra. But before that, yes, Mr. Mishra, go ahead.
Arnab, Alok and Mr. Gowda need to understand one thing. I don't know if they have ever met an IAS officer and understand what IAS officer does. IAS officer has to take decisions. Decision means logical reasoning, ability to analyze things, decision making. IAS officer is the one whose district magistrate
That can only come through English. You mean to say that?
Come on. Nothing wrong with English. It is your ability to reason logic, and that is what he said is all about.
They have to take a compulsory Hindi exam after joining services.
You should have the decency to listen.
Achha, listen to each other. No, why are you descending to this? Listen to each other. Mr. Gowda, let them speak.
Who is wearing cap of different color?
Have the decency to listen.
And who is wearing cap of
Have the decency to listen. You want to become IAS officer, you only talk.
Then reduce the volume.
You don't listen, you become politician. You will not become IAS officer if you don't let others talk, okay? You are from Karnataka. Somebody from UP who knows only Hindi, he goes to Tamil Nadu. It's an Indian administrative service. It is not Karnataka administrative service or UP administrative service. He goes to Tamil Nadu. In Tamil Nadu, first he learns Tamil, which is mandatory. Then he learns English. And for 2 years, he has no ability to talk or conduct any business. Then you go to Delhi on deputation. You don't know English. You don't know your own language.
You're absolutely confused,
What are you talking about? Then you are dealing with a foreign delegation. It is not, by the way.
You're absolutely confused. He's not against English.
Entitlement.
He's not against English. You are absolutely confused. Get your ideas clear.
Learn to listen, God.
Get your ideas clear. He's not against English.
I live in Bangalore.
He's against CSAT.
English is from 7th grade.
Now having realized,
He's against CSAT.
having realized, you see what's happening.
Aptitude cannot be measured only by English. It can be measured in other languages.
No, Mr. Gowda, have you passed Karnataka board exam? Have you passed Karnataka board exam, Mr. Gowda?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Did you clear English exam in Karnataka board?
Yes.
And if you did, then what is your problem?
What is the problem?
For your kind knowledge, I have done my masters from France.
And if you declared you are doing politics. It's nothing to do with that.
No, I am not doing politics. I am keeping the views over here.
You are being used like Mandal Commission. You are being used by politicians.
No, sir. No politician is behind me. No politician is behind me.
You are confused. Go good to you. Please don't get used by politicians.
I think we have that much faith. No, I think we have this much faith.
The problem is so huge that government will repent if it doesn't take any
that's all right. So
we can,
Mr. Gowda, just a minute.
Right now.
Don't talk politics. Don't talk netagiri, yaar. Come on.
Yeah, get into. You're giving an exam. I must say this, Mr. Gowda. I said this to another person last week. I'm going to say this to you. You know something about politicians. Politicians have a wonderful use and throw policy. Today, if you say something or do something, you break a few buses, you go on the streets, you pelt stones, you create trouble for people, you make absolute nuisance of yourself. These politicians will stand behind you and they will say to you, well done. And tomorrow, when they have used you, they will throw you also and not even recognize you. But you would have been an instrument in trying to create a language and class divide in this country which does not exist. And I think we must stop.
Can I come in?
Yes, Naveen Chopra.
Day after tomorrow, when the country is in real trouble, even worse than what it is now, they will all vanish. The whole lot of them will vanish. I mean, the country is going down the tube every day, in every aspect of our life. All that we are asking for is that please depreciate the standards. Niche lao, standard niche lao, standard niche lao. Hame paisa do.
Vani, you know, Vani, what you should do. You have been a student leader yourself. No, Vani, what you should do as a student leader, you should tell the ABVP students and all political party students, please stop. Go back, give the examination. Give the examination. Let us not be hypocrites on this.
The discourse.
Arnab, can I come in?
And Vani, you must also tell them, be careful of being used for the UP elections.
Prove something tonight.
Vani, let Vani speak. Let Vani speak.
And what it proves, please let me speak. I've been hearing everybody for such a long time.
Yes.
Just 1 minute. Just give me 30 seconds. Arnab, the discourse of your debate proves something tonight. Whether you are with this or whether you are against it, it's a complicated situation that you're standing with. You said in the beginning of the debate that you need to hear what the students of this country want also, despite the fact that there is all kind of political influences that you are envisaging to this debate.
But you admitted it.
It is
you said,
about
right at the start, you said about the UP election. You spoke about the UP election. No, you spoke about the UP election.
My very humble request, of course, because when I see the Samajwadi Party and the Bahujan Samaj Party shout about it in the parliament,
so you're competing with them.
Talking about this in 2010.
Are you competing with them?
But yet, listen to me.
Can I come in?
But yet, listen to me. Of course, we do not wish to compete. There should be no vandalism. There should be no vandalism. But do not preempt what the government is going to do. Let the government come out with a decision and then debate it. Do not preempt it and do not presume it. I know politicians are not very popular with you these days.
We'll take a word from Salman and Mohandas Pai will wrap up the debate. Salman Soz.
But when
I would first of all, Mr.
Vani, let me finish. Looking at this discourse, let the government come out with the decision.
Sure, but in the meantime, take a position. Don't compete with the Samajwadi Party. Vani, the BJP, after getting 73 seats. Vani, 1 minute. Vani, please. I said I have a bathroom. After getting 73 seats in UP, Lok Sabha seats, are you so insecure? So damn insecure, or that the Samajwadi Party will use the language card and run away with the votes? I mean, please have some faith. I thought you believe in development politics, not in this vote-giri. Salman Soz. One caller after that. Salman Soz's turn.
Please.
Who is making up this
Salman Soz's turn now.
I would say Mr. Gowda said something. Mr. Gowda said this government better watch out, otherwise they'll repent. I take exception to this language of threats. I think if an aspiring civil servant issues threats against the government, that is flat out wrong. And even though we're in the opposition, I strongly reject such a statement from Mr. Gowda.
Okay, one caller, Sudhir Sharma, is calling from Delhi.
Vani says that the government is going to do. They've been saying this for a long time now. We're going to do this. They give us 7 days, give us 7 days. They keep missing deadlines.
What is the long time?
They should decide one way or the other.
Mr. Soos,
they should decide one way or the other and not leave everyone in the lurch.
And you want this government to do
that is the problem with this government.
Sudhir Sharma, the next caller, calling in from Delhi this evening on an extended Newshour debate. I'm extending the time on this debate because we have so many callers tonight, and to those callers,
as much as you want.
Stop fighting. You've all been exposed.
You have declared one thing. You have declared the hypocrisy.
Shouting. That's all Vani is doing
today. But now, 3 years later, when this debate comes up, because you are frustrated, that's why you're doing this turnaround and you're discussing comprehension permanently when this policy decision was taken by you.
Sudhir Sharma is the next caller from Delhi, please. Sudhir Sharma ji, please go ahead. Go ahead, Sudhir Sharma.
Yeah. Good evening, Arnab.
Good evening, sir. Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, I just want to make 2 small points.
Go ahead.
First is that the implication of the language, majority of the politicians are not understanding because they do not require any kind of qualification to become a politician. So they have no responsibility towards that effect. Point 2 is, when our Prime Minister first said, let's follow Hindi, there was chaos in the country. And now the problem is with English. Can we somehow have a level playing field for so many people with so many different languages being spoken in our country? Can we have one national language for our nation, for God's sake?
What do you feel? Do you think 8 questions in English is too much, Mr. Sharma?
Not at all. The kind of paper you're talking about, I think anybody who is aspiring for IAS would want to understand what IAS stands for,
Absolutely.
Would know English itself.
And you know, Mr. Sharma, I didn't get one answer to a basic question. Exactly. You know, if tomorrow, what is so special about the UPSC exam alone? For someone who wants to be a lawyer, gives a combined law entrance test. Somebody who wants to be a management student, gives an entrance exam to a management MBA program. Tomorrow, the same students will be on the street saying, we don't want English there as well. Tomorrow somebody may say we don't want logical reasoning in the examination. Tomorrow somebody will say basic mathematics is also not required. That also is discriminatory. I mean, students cannot decide tomorrow. It's not
only that. I being a North Indian, whenever I travel to South Indian state, when I speak to anybody, any waiter in the hotel or anybody, taxi driver or auto guy, the only language we converse is English.
Yeah, but you know, these are not political issues. No, Mohandas Pai, we are not a banana republic. How do you see this ending? Do you think on Sunday the government's going to accept the report, or do you think English will stay, or do you think English will be substituted with 20 plus other languages as well as an option?
Arnab, we are talking about the top 500 people in this country. This is not 1 lakh people to 2 lakh people, top 500 people. They should be the best this country has. They should have comprehension skills. They should be brilliant. Yes, they should know a little bit of English. And 8 questions in English if they want to protest. How can they ever aspire to lead this country and be the top 500 people in this country, all over the country in administration?
And I think we also need a government which can take a tough position on these issues and not allow a ruckus to go on.
We don't have that government right now.
We need to have a government which says enough is enough. We don't want this bus breaking, road blocking attitude. And I think the government could have come out much firmer on this much earlier. Thank you very much. Now we'll see what happens on Sunday, and I thank you for also letting me speak in the course of that debate. Thank you very much for joining me on debate number 1 on the Newshour tonight.